free-to-play league that everybody, and I literally mean everybody, can play in, can participate in, and should participate in it, because we have over $1,000 worth of prizes available to be won in this private league, which I've spent a lot of time negotiating and, like trying to get the best deals possible with Sorare and Pookie. So I put a lot of calls in, a lot of back and forth with the guys over at the two companies there to try and get you guys some prizes. So make sure that you join it. So let's run through it quickly. It's a bit of a thread, but I think it's worth it, right? So we have a new private league that starts in a week's time, right? A new private league in Sorare. And of course, if you are brand new to Sorare, if you're one of those few people here now on the channel that's not already involved in Sorare and you don't know too much about Sorare, then you can find the link to get started today in the chat there, okay? That's my link. Use that link to sign up to Sorare. And then when you use that link to sign up to Sorare and you collect your first 5 cards at auction, you will get a free card. Now, if you're completely new to Sorare, Sorare is basically a digital card collectible game, right, that exists on the blockchain. So when you are building collections of cards, you actually own the cards. They have real world value. You can take them out of the game if you want to. They basically last forever. They're yours forever, basically. And you can use these cards to build like really cool teams that then compete in tournaments, like competitions in the game, to then win some prizes. And those prizes can be more cards, so they can be better players, basically, that you can then build better teams with, or they can be better players that you then sell for actual real cash in the game. Or you can win other cool prizes, like you can win match tickets, you can win signed shirts from teams and clubs that you love. You can win match day experiences, you can win experiences to go and meet your footballers. There's so much to it, and it's such a huge game right now. The potential is still very much untapped with Sorare. So it's a really cool game. It's basically transforming the fantasy sports area. And if you're not playing it, check it out, because, as I say, the link's in the chat, and you can get started for free. You honestly can in Sorare. It's brilliant. So you will need a Sorare account if you want to take part in this MLS Cup. So it's the Free Tip Scout MLS Cup, which is a private league or a mini league, however you want to call it. But in Sorare, they're called private leagues. And basically, once you've signed up and you've got an account, you want to then be using this link here. Now, you can use this link too if you're completely new to Sorare. And when you use that link, you'll still be able to claim the free card when you collect 5 from auction. If you're already on Sorare, you still need to use that link, because this link basically takes you straight into the league. So if I just click it here right now, it's going to come up with my kind of extension blocker. Don't worry about that. You won't have this, but I have it because it's an extension blocker. Just going to do proceed, right? And then you're going to be presented with this page here, and this is basically the league. So it's then saying, why is it going like that? There you go. This is the league. This is the MLS Cup. And so that link is your link into the league to join it. It's completely free to join. It doesn't cost you a thing, and there's over $1,000 worth of prizes to be won in it. Now, I'm going to run through exactly how the league works, because it's pretty simple, but I want to give everybody a heads up about how it works and how you can be eligible for the prizes, okay? So let's go back here. Anyone can join. You can also use the code here. So if you are already on Sorare and you just go to the private league section, so back on Sorare here, you can actually find private leagues by going to play, then private leagues, right? And then you can basically say here, create or join a private league, right? So if you click this here, you can then say join a league, and then you just type in the code here as well, right? And the code to join the league is FScout, okay? So you would just like copy that code and then go back here and then type it in here. Oh, not sure why it didn't. Oh, hold on. What's going on here? Oh my God. Are you kidding me? What have we done there? We must have done something wrong. We've used up a space. There you go. Be careful with that. Did you see that? We copied it in, but it basically took up a space. So yeah, we already had like a space in between the F, which then meant that it wasn't copying in the T. So there's only enough characters for basically 5. So be very careful with that. So just copy an FScout, and then when you press join, it's then going to come up with the league, right? This is the league here. So this is the code. Again, it's exactly the same league. And make sure that you join it. I'm just going to quickly run through it, right? Because, again, we have to say a big thank you to Sorare and Pookie for sponsoring the prizes in this league because they're amazing, right? They're absolutely incredible. What we're offering here are an epic Pokeball for first place, right? Which is worth $400 plus. Also, for second and third place, right? Second and third place are both going to win a rare Pokeball worth $100 each. It's pretty cool, really cool. And again, if you don't know Pookie, this is Pookie, by the way, which is what we're going to be playing later on. And these balls that you can win here, these balls are massive in the game. As in, like, they will give you huge boosts, huge advantages to be winning even more cryptocurrency in the game. These are some of the best balls that you can actually get in the game, especially the Epic. The Epic is very powerful in the game. And I'm going to be going hard in this MLS Amateur because I really want to try and win the Epic. The Epic is so valuable in the game. So, Epic, first place. Second and third get a rare. Then, fourth to sixth place, each get 2 common balls each. So the fourth place gets 2 common balls, and the common balls, the Pokeballs, are worth $25 each. That's $50 worth of prizes that fourth, fifth, and sixth place are all going to get individually each. Incredible. 7th to 11th. Can we bring this up a bit better? We can, can't we? There we go. 7th to 10th win themselves a Tier 1 limited card on Sorare. And those cards are roughly worth about £30, these Tier 1s. So they're pretty good prizes too. Tier 2s are going to be awarded to 11th to 15th place. They're roughly worth about £15, £16, something like that. And then what's really cool about this league is that there will be 5 random winners, right? 5 random winners that win a Tier 3 limited card too, which is really cool. So if you don't finish in the top 15, right, but you still play in the MLS Cup here, this private league, and let's say, for example, that you finished last in this league, right? You can still win a Tier 3 limited card. And these Tier 3 limited cards are worth about £8 to £9, which is really cool. So you don't even have to be that good in this private league. And that's what makes it quite cool, is that I think in the past, when you play a private league or a mini league, if you are just kind of out of the race, basically, very early on, it can be really demotivating to continue. But in the MLS Cup, there's plenty incentive for you to keep going because you can still win a card no matter where you finish, which is really cool. And we'll be doing the draw right at the end of this season when this scoring finishes, right? Let me run through the thread here, though. Really important, right? So, first of all, the MLS Cup is free, guys. Anybody can join this, right? Anybody and everybody. You do not need to be a sub here on Twitch. You do not need to be following me on Twitter, although, of course, it would be appreciated. You don't need to do any of that, right? So if you're not following me on Twitter, if you're not following me or subscribe to the Twitch channel, it's fine. You can still join this private league. It's completely free to join. Everybody must have a Sorare and a Pookie account. So you must have both. And it's completely free to join as well, both of those. You can play both of the games for free. So if you don't want to spend money on Sorare, if you don't want to spend money on Pookie, you don't have to. You don't have to at all. Just make sure that you sign up. Make sure that you have an account. The links are here in this thread that you see from the pin tweet. Use those links. Get an account because these links will give you the best start possible in both of the respective games, right? Then, next bit is it's a private league that runs on Sorare. The way that this works is it's a amateur. So if you're new to Sorare, these amateur competitions in Sorare are the free-to-play competitions. So in order to even play in this, you do not even need to spend any money to play in the private league here that we've set up. You just need to have an account and you just need to put together an amateur team in the MLS, right? Once you have an MLS amateur team, you can then enter it into the MLS Cup. That's where the scoring applies. Now, the scoring starts from next weekend, guys, the 7th of July, which is game week 387, right? 387, 7th of July. So you've got a good week to prepare your MLS amateur teams before the scoring actually starts here, right? Really important. Doesn't start this weekend, it starts next weekend. And it runs up until the end of the regular MLS season. So that's the 21st of October. I've had a couple of questions, even though I put this together. I've had a couple of questions from managers out there saying, does it include the playoffs? No, it doesn't include the playoffs. The playoffs are not part of the regular MLS season. So once the regular games of the regular season are finished in the MLS, which is the 21st of October, the league will finish. And then we'll announce the winners of the prizes, right? So we've got a nice 3 months here, basically. It's a tournament that runs for 3 months, which is really cool. Again, these are the prizes here. So there's 20 prizes, basically. Well, there's not 20 prizes, but there's 20 places up for grabs that can win prizes here. Again, first place wins an epic Pokeball worth $400. Second place and third place both win a rare Pokeball worth $100, which is so cool. Again, fourth to sixth, they all win 2 common Pokeballs each. So I had a question yesterday saying, why are there only 2 common Pokeballs that are basically being issued out across the 4th to 6th positions? That's not true. That's not what it is. If you finish 4th, you win 2 common Pokeballs. If you finish 5th, you win 2 common Pokeballs. If you finish 6th, you win 2 common Pokeballs. So there's 2 common Pokeballs that are going to be given out to the winners at 4th, 5th, and 6th place, right? Exactly the same premise here, 7th to 10th. 7th place will win 1 tier 1 card, limited, of a Sorare card. Same for 8th, same for 9th, same for 10th, right? And then there's those 3 random winners as well that can be awarded a card even if they finish outside of the top 15, which is really cool. So if you finish last, you still have a chance to win a really cool Sorare card in the game that will be worth about £8 to £9, something like that. Maybe a tenner, right? Which is pretty cool for a free-to-play. A couple of other things, and then we will crack on with the stream here today. Tiebreaker situations. Now, they're very rare in Sorare, actually, because most of the time, in order for you to have a tiebreaker situation, you would need to have exactly the same team as another manager, or if you had different teams, they would then need to score exactly the same points, which is really difficult to do if you have different like players in those teams. And there's XP that applies, right, in the amateurs. So then you would need to have and include the XP. So the tiebreaker situations are rare. I don't think I've really been involved in a tiebreaker since the amateurs have been released, actually. But I've put a little rule in place here that if there is a tiebreaker situation, we know how to settle it. So if there's a tiebreak situation, at the end of the season, when we tot up the totals and we see where everyone is, so say, for example, first and second have exactly the same amount of points, right? Then how can we determine who gets the epic ball, who gets the rare ball, right? The way that is going to be determined is by the highest total points that are scored from the bench players in the final game week. And if you're confused what the bench players are, I'm going to show you right now. Because in Sorare, there are technically bench players, but they don't really get referred to that very often because you don't use them. They don't come off the bench, right? So if we just go on to my MLS amateur team here, right. So this is my MLS amateur team at the moment. Now, we can only play 5 players every single game week, right, in the MLS amateur, but you have to draft a total of 7 players, right? So we actually have a spare goalkeeper, which is Andre Blake, that's not been selected. And then we've also got Josef Martinez, who's not been selected either. I think we're missing one, aren't we? We're not missing one? Yeah, we're missing one, aren't we? We're missing one. There we go. Yeah, it's actually 8, isn't it? Because you got 5 here, then 6, 7, and then 8. So it's actually 8. Yeah, it was confusing me then because I couldn't see Claudio Bravo. But you actually get 8 players, right? So the way that this tiebreaker works is that if you have the same amount of points, if you're sitting first and you have the same amount of points as someone who is technically second, right? And so we need to work out who gets the epic ball. Then it's going to come down to how much these guys that are not in these teams, it's going to come down to how much these guys that are not selected, how much they score in the final game week of this MLS Cup, right? So really important as well, guys, that you have strong players on the bench because you may need them in the rare instance of a tiebreaker situation, okay? Let's keep it going. yeah, thank you, of course, to everyone who's been supporting the growth of the channel. I just kind of sent a message about that as well, because without all your support, I promise you, this would not have happened. And we only get these prizes because we have a community like this. And we need to obviously have a lot of people that join it so that we can get more prizes in the future. So make sure that you join, guys, because if you want to have a chance to win cards and prizes and just have a chance to win even better prizes in the future, we need to make sure that this is a really successful, really popular private league, right? Otherwise, in the future, we might not get these prizes again. So make sure that you join if you haven't joined. And then again, big shout out to Twitch Gaming, who actually designed the graphic. So Twitch Gaming, this is his. If you need a graphic, by the way, guys, and you are not very good with designing graphics, then this is Twitch Gaming here, and he designed the graphic for me, which I'm just going to take it back up here. This one here, which I think is really cool. We've done a great job there. So if you need a graphic, reach out to him. Reach out to him. He was superb throughout the whole process. Honestly, just got it. You know, sometimes when you work with people and they just don't get it, and you have to kind of explain yourself back and forth, and it just seems like a lot of work. It was completely the opposite. I basically just said exactly what I wanted, and he got it completely. So great job there, Twitch Gaming. Thank you so much. So guys, make sure that you join this league here. The MLS Cup is free to play. There's over $1,000 worth of prizes to be won. If you won a Pokeball here in this league, you can, of course, use it in Pookie to then earn a lot of cryptocurrency on a weekly basis. Or you could basically sell also that Pokeball. So that Pokeball is worth $400. Let's say that you've got an account on Pookie, but you actually just think, you know what, I might want to sell that. You can sell it. You can't sell it in the game right now, but by the time that this actually finishes, hopefully there'll be a marketplace in the game where you can sell it, but you can also just sell the Pokeball on OpenSea, for example. So you can even sell these for the cash value if you want to. Who's joined so far, guys? Who's joined the MLS Private Cup, or the MLS Cup, which is actually a private league right now? Who here in the chat has joined it? Yeah, 2 for each position. Great work to get Sorare and Pookie to agree to this free tip scout. Yeah, that's actually why I've not been, thank you for that, by the way, Subsea. It's actually why I've not been as active in the Discord, because I've been having a lot of conversations to try and get these prizes, right? And it's not a case where you can just kind of like say, can you give us some prizes? You do have to do quite a bit of negotiating and trying to make sure that they're happy with everything and that it's something that is going to be attractive for everyone. So, yeah, I'm glad that we got it, guys. And this is it here again, so make sure that you join it. As I say, it starts next weekend. I want it to be a really popular, really big private league. And if you're playing Sorare, there's no reason at all for you to not join this league. You can win Sorare cards in it. You can win Pookie prizes in it. And both of the prizes that you win have cash value, which you can sell or use in those respective games to then give yourselves even better rewards going forward. So everybody who's playing Sorare can join this, and everybody should join this league. And make sure that... Guys, these are the 3 winners from today. We have number 41, Smail A, who wins Mark Bartra. Then we have number 88, Giotto1828, who wins Serge Philippe Rao Yao. And then we have number 158, Max Soars, who wins Felix Lakeneda. Congratulations to all 3 winners. Do not worry, guys, if you missed out here today, because we will be back again tomorrow. And we've got a load more cards here that were very generously donated to us today by, again, Donny VV, also Arthur Nice, and of course the cards we've just given away here was Waz in the chat. So a big thank you to everybody for the subs and all the support, all the donations, massively. And a big thank you to all the support, all your time on today's stream, massively appreciated, never taken for granted. Guys, have a lovely end to your weekend. Do keep me posted on how your team's doing Sorare too. So if you have some good performances later on today and tomorrow, make sure that you tag me. I'll try to share as much of the success that you guys are having from your Sorare teams. But otherwise, yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will catch you all again tomorrow if I don't already catch you in the Discord tonight. So big thank you, and I will see you then.